Hi guys, one of the problems I've mentioned when it came to the Tories attacking Keir Starmer and Labour ministers over freebies is that they take them too. Now watch here Damien Hines squirm as he tries to defend Tory leadership frontrunner James Cleverly's wife benefiting from free stuff simply because of her husband's position. As said before, Labour needs to ban these benefits and get the Tories to support the ban, which is unlikely to happen. Have a listen.
James Cleverly had a good conference and he seems to have blown himself up with not declaring his wife at sporting events. What's he doing?
Look, I've just seen that story in the Mirror. I don't know. I think you're right. It was a good conference. I think it was a good conference.
Notice that he's avoiding the point about James Cleverly's wife. Immediately, like, I don't know. Can you imagine if there was a rumour about a Labour minister receiving money? Do you think he would say, well, look, I don't know? Or would he jump on it and say, see, here we have corruption once again. Here we have Lord Ali helping out the Labour Party. What is he getting in return? He would be jumping on the story. But now that he doesn't know fully about James Cleverly's wife, he's like, well, we should reserve judgment until we have further information.
It was actually for all the candidates. It was good. It was a good debate. It's been very well, good humoured.
Fairly obvious she's there, though, look.
I think, as well.
She's there. She's there in Sydney, and the one before was at Wimbledon.
But I genuinely can't. I genuinely can't look at a photo live on your brilliant programme.
Why not?
And be able to tell things that
I can tell you he was at Wimbledon, and I can tell you he was at the Women's World Cup in Sydney. He's now declared it, but only when people said, "Oh, what about this?"
Yeah. So look, I can't add to that. That's my honest response.
Okay, can we agree it's not smart?
That's my honest response. Look, I think all politicians have to...
Is it not smart? Of course it's not smart, but he can't say that because it's his team. If it was a Labour minister, he would be attacking it straight away. He'd be calling it out. But because it's one of his guys, well, look, all politicians need to act within the rules.
You take responsibility for what they do. I think what we've seen with the Prime Minister...
That's what you're
but
I know.
Look at it, Kate.
And I give them
you
a good
on
kicking.
Sky News, when you showed that chart, I don't know if it was that wall or that wall over there, when you showed those numbers, I mean, that is absolutely striking.
I know.
And
yes, because it excluded Boris Johnson. So Keir Starmer is taking more than any other MP. This is a problem, but he is the Prime Minister. Once again, it's still a problem. I'm not defending it in any way. I think there should be no donations, but he is the Prime Minister. When Boris Johnson was in charge, it completely dwarfed the amount of money that Keir Starmer has received in benefits or donations or freebies or whatever you want to call them.
Everybody has to reflect on themselves and everybody has to take responsibility. But including everyone. When I say every politician, every member of Parliament, that means everybody. But there clearly is a particular problem with number 10 and the Prime Minister and the government. And absolutely it's right that we look at that thoroughly.
That's because they're transparent. And when you guys were in power, you weren't, is what the government says now.
I don't
Not
think,
true?
I don't think even they say. I don't think even.
Caught out. He knows that the problem before was that the government were not declaring stuff. There was huge amounts of money going into Boris Johnson and other Tory MPs' bank accounts and the coffers of the party, but we didn't know who was giving this money. At least, now we know who's giving money to the government. Before we didn't. Some of it was declared back when Boris Johnson and the Tories were in charge. A lot of it was not, and that was a major problem. It's still a problem that donations are happening. See, here the core problem is everyone, it seems, is on the take, or pretty much everyone is on the take. And while the Conservatives will say we need to focus on the government, they don't want to focus on them. And the best way to deal with this, and I keep saying, is ban all freebies. Ban them all. Get rid of them and demand that in Parliament that the Conservatives support it. So we're going to have a ban on all freebies. Do you support this? And if the Conservatives say no, then attack them on that. So we're trying to get rid of them. You're supporting the idea of maintaining them. Then you have no reason to criticize us for taking them in the first place. So, but if you ban them, of course, as well, if you have a massive majority and you ban these things, I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but perhaps it should be possible, ban them completely. This would damage the Conservatives because they rely so much on them. And people give money, of course, to politicians to gain access. If you ban them, then there's no reason to give them money anymore because there's no way to gain access to them in that way. And it would hamstring the Conservatives. It would deeply damage their party, but they deserve to be damaged. They deserve to be punished over what they've done over the last 14 years. But also, a party that's based on donations is corrupt. It's pure corruption. We've seen it with PPE contracts. We've seen it with all sorts of shenanigans. Ban these things. Even just the freebies. It would really harm the Conservatives. It would harm Labour as well. But what is the benefit of these benefits? What's the point in keeping them in place? There's no, not for the public, not for government. It's good for the parties, it's good for the MPs. Some ministers enjoy these things, but they have to go. For the ordinary person on the street, there's no way they benefit from any of this. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.